Super Bowl champion Buccaneers, it is also the home field for the USF Bulls and the clash that we have in store today. Today, two teams get set to square off in an intra-conference battle in the American. As we'll see, the Navy midshipmen taking on the South Florida Bulls. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. Navy ready for kickoff as we get this game started. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So the USF Bulls offense makes its way onto the field to open this game. And Jesse, in this age of transfers, quarterbacks are the hottest commodities. We've seen this guy, but now different uniform, different surroundings. It's his job to get everybody going in the same direction.
Well, he just has to take command of this offense early. And listen, we've seen in recent years transfer quarterbacks have success right away. Think about Will Howard winning a national championship at Ohio State, Dylan Gabriel over at Oregon, Cam Ward at Miami. This guy has a really good grasp of the offense, picked it up in the offseason. I know they're really excited to see what he can do on the field today.
And these transfer quarterbacks are so wanted because they already have the experience. You know exactly what they can do. You're not guessing. So his experience translates, and they're counting on it. They love him. That's why they went and got him, and that's why he's starting right now.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Couldn't connect on 1st down. Now back to the air. Blasted as he lets it go. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing. Now this offense facing a 3rd and long from their own 30. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires left. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. He's got 1st down yardage as they move it to the 44.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the 1st.
The Bulls back to the line on 1st down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Pulled down after a pickup of 4 to the 27. Let's talk for a second here about USF. They lose in the semis last year. Any potential for a hangover this season?
I don't think so, and I think they obviously didn't finish last season the way they wanted to, but having the success they had, David, that opened the eyes to a lot of portal players around the country. They wanted to come here knowing they could build on that and take the next step.
And sometimes it takes those steps, Jesse. Like, you've got to crawl before you walk. And this team, they tasted it. They know what it feels like. They know what it's like to be in the playoffs, and they want more. And they get to take some anger out and some hard feelings out today to start this season.
The 7th play of this opening drive, they'll need to move the chains on 3rd and short. They've got it just outside the red zone. They'll move the chains. It's at the 21.
This offense knew coming into this one, guys, how important it was to start early. And on this opening drive for them, they're doing a nice job running the football. They're on 3rd down. They're in a position on the field now. If you're on defense, you got to be ready for a shot throw into the end zone.
Here he goes breaking the pocket. Look out, he's got room. He's all the way down to the 3. Showed it all on that run.
And this is the frustration in playing man-to-man coverage. All the guys on your defense are chasing their guys. They don't have vision on the quarterback, but he is such a good athlete. He knows it.
Touchdown Bulls! Fired in from the red zone for the score. They strike first in that opening drive of the season. Could not have gone better.
Man, it doesn't get any better than that. You script the first 10 plays, that was 10 plays. That was perfection. That was a touchdown. That's called good scouting, being ready for the football game, and executing to a team to start this game off.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll bring it back. for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The midshipman offense makes its way onto the field for their first possession of the game. And guys, defenses have been trying to figure out for years how to keep this guy from getting open, and they just can't seem to solve the riddle.
No, this guy has experience. He's been in the big moments, and it's so nice to have a guy that's been in your system, in your scheme. He knows the in and outs. You can move him all over the field. You can't place a premium high enough on a guy that knows the system inside and out.
You're right, and tell you, it was a great day for this offense when he decided to come back for his senior year, too. There were a lot of people that thought he might declare for the NFL. They weren't sure if they were going to lose him to the portal or not. He decided to come back. He believes this offense can do something special, and if they're going to do that, he's obviously going to have a big year.
Guys, we have a second here to talk about Navy. By no means was it a transfer portal exodus. The number of guys they lost among the fewest in the country, but you do wonder if things have just become really transactional in the sport right now.
Well, this is a team that had a lot of success last year, and a lot of their key players want to build off of that. So to me, not a big surprise that these guys decided to stick around.
Yeah, it's cool to see it, man. You don't see a lot of this in college football nowadays. A lot of people leaving. They're doing a good job of retaining their guys. They must have built a really good culture.
Here comes Navy back to the line after picking up the first down. Using his feet. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Last play was a near disaster, now dealing with 2nd and 13.
And this offense gets nothing done on that play, but look at them. They're continuing to run this tempo. They want to try to do something to get a spark going to create a big play.
Good, solid run on that one as he gets it up to the 33-yard line. In the gun and looking to throw on 3rd down. Going for the big play. Oh, he dropped it, and what a missed opportunity early in this football game.
Defense did a great job. 3rd and short on the opponent's side of the field. They're expecting quick throw. Everybody, they dug their heel on the ground. They're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
The kick is on its way. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. South Florida ready to send the offense back onto the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with his 7-0 lead. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations.
We just handled it poorly, and it's a fumble. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a We've got a timeout here as this coach is challenging the call. He wants to give the replay booth a chance to have another look. This coach wanted to be absolutely certain on a challenge. He was right. The previous play will be overturned. And the Bulls come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. He'll throw on 3rd down. Got it in the middle, it's Barker. They've got it inside the 40 at the 39 as they pick up the first down.
And it's on 3rd downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
Wants to go up top on 1st down. Right on the money. Guided out of bounds at the 22. A good play for this offense as they are threatening to score.
As a head coach, you love it when your quarterback is locked in early. Opening drive, throws a touchdown pass. Really nice throw on that last play. Here in the 2nd drive, he's firing on all cylinders. You can tell this guy did his homework coming into this game, and right now it's paying off.
Man, he's got 45 yards on the ground, and they wanted to have an identity as a running team, and he's giving them that in the season opener. He's got him still on his feet. Needed one more turn of the legs to get it in there, and he's touchdown.
This is the area of the field defensively. It really doesn't matter what they've done to get here. You got to bow up, try to force the field goal.
The Sneak scores it.
I think you love starting the year off with some momentum, and that's exactly what this offense is doing. They're firing on all cylinders. Defense doing their job as well. This team getting out the gates to start the season in great fashion.
And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. He'll take the return, try to get better field position. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. And the midshipman offense making its way back onto the field. They've gotten off to a sluggish start and need to put something together on this drive. Finds his tight end. Makes the tackle at the 32, but they were backed up inside their 20, and they pick up 15.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
Picks up the first down, still moving. They get him at the 42, but he picked up 10 there. The brigade celebrating another first down, and that's really the way Navy's always done it. You can even think back to the great Napoleon McCallum, who ran through defenses at will.
Simple, but so disciplined, right? Like running the option year after year, you got to have discipline. Not surprising, Navy is always good at it because so many young men with such discipline, they can run a system and really just continue to methodically move the ball down the field.
About ready to get things started here in the second. We'll see if they continue to flex that muscle. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. From the gun to give, looking for room. Makes it past the marker. Knocked down at the 47. It's a 5-yard gain and enough to move the chains.
Well, you got to be able to turn the page quickly on defense. Just gave up a first down on the ground, but here comes tempo. You've got to get lined up.
Here's the heat. Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
Man, this defense is dominating all game long. They have been making this quarterback's life so difficult with their pass rush. They bring him down there for the sack. They're not giving anything up. They're leading this game by a lot. We're only in the second quarter, and this ain't going to change unless this offense can find a rhythm.
How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
They stop him short, and we'll have a big fourth down coming. Navy will have to punt it away. They'll look to pin him deep. Now on the return. And the coverage team able to make the tackle. South Florida has it back, and the Bulls offense will return to the field. They've come out smoking with touchdowns on each of their first 2 drives, and they're back to work now. Gonna let it fly. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you can tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
The running back has it. They make the stop after a gain of 3 to the 31. How bold will they be on third down after that last run? On the gun, wants to pass. Oh, they're after him. Fires and picked off. Just a short return, but that would have been icing on the cake. They've got it first down at the 42. The give to the running back from the shotgun.
Defense came into this one knowing they were going to see some tempo. They've got to get the call from the sidelines, get it communicated, get lined up.
From the shotgun, they'll run it. All down, and they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. Navy quick to the line. Running back searching for a hole. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20. 9-yard pickup on first down, and now they can take a shot on second and short. He'll keep it himself. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down. Navy is clicking on all cylinders right now. Leaves it with the running back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Nice job by this defense creating that negative play. That's what all defenses want to do. But look at this. This offense, they ain't scared. Right back on the ball, ready to...
Turning it on! They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. The midshipmen come to the line facing third and short. The play action fake. And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18. And on fourth down, they'll try to put 3 on the board. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Tried to give it enough body English, but he missed it. Guys, a missed field goal, and nothing changes. Still a 14-point game. From the gun, running back gets the gift. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
Well, the offense is trying to go counter, but the defense blows it up. And they do it by getting penetration up the middle, setting up the tackle for loss.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Finds his man in the middle. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
And I love when you understand when I'm supposed to put some RPMs on that football. You can tell he's thrown over the middle of the field. He knows he's got defenders there. I got to throw this thing in there quick, fast, in a hurry. Nice job by the quarterback.
Caught near the sticks. It's Parker. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down. The Bulls come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Power football with the play. And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
And the Bulls in a good spot here with second and short. Wants to go up top. Steps away to find some room. He'll try to do it himself. The freshman called his own number and kept this drive moving. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. On first and 10 from the 38. Looking to throw on first down. He lets one fly deep. And it falls incomplete, and the offense is lucky to have it. Defender right there almost had it in his grasp. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Working well behind the sticks on second down. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
Love the physicality of the secondary on defense. That defender got to the football, was able to separate the receiver from the ball, and did it legally. Beautiful job.
Showing the arm strength down the left side. Rolls it in. He was smelling that end zone, but they get him down at the 4 after the big pass play. Here's first and goal, and a touchdown here might put this thing out of reach by halftime. Takes a snap, wants to throw. Looking for the goal line. They'll mark him down at the 2. The excellent execution on that throw and catch. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. They've moved it forward to the 2. Now it's second and goal. Bring in the heat. Touchdown, South Florida. Big strike through the air for the score.
All you can say is how impressive has this team been at home today in all three facets of the game. Their defense has been outstanding. We've seen some plays in special teams, and the offense continues to deliver, showing off all of the playmakers and all of the versatility they have on that side of the football. This could not be better here in the first half for the home team.
And he hauls it in, and everybody's on the edge of their seats. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. And Navy will go back on the attack. Boy, they've been caught in a buzzsaw here in the first half, but maybe a chance to carry some momentum into the break here.
It all comes down to this drive right here, Reed.
Breaks into the open. Out across the 45 and out of bounds at the 46-yard line. A big pickup here as they try to put together a scoring drive. They have been stagnant on offense, but finally a little forward movement as they've got a 1st and 10. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Catch in the middle. It's Bobo. Tackle is made at the 44, but he picked up 10 yards and enough for a 1st down. Wants to throw on 1st down. Fired just a little too long as the junior frustrated. He missed that connection.
Well, that's just a miss by the quarterback. That's a simple slant route. That ball's got to be thrown out in front or put in the face mask of the receiver. Bad throw by the QB.
They'll run play action. Here comes the heat. Trying to make magic on the scramble. They make the stop at the 33, but 10 yards on that play and a 1st down.
That's how you earn your 1st down the hard way. Really good job by the QB dropping back to pass, scrambling, getting the 1st down, but taking a big shot at the end.
He'll pull it on the read. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
One of the things I like about this defense is their DBs are not afraid to put their face in the fan and go tackle. And you saw it that time with the cornerback making a great play, tackling the quarterback on the option for a big loss.
Looking to go up top in times, running out of the half. Got it behind the line. It's Lawrence. He'll be forced out of bounds at the 28.
Nice catch by the big target. Those big tight ends, you can tell in football, are just becoming more and more of a weapon on every single team.
Give to the back. Some hard running there, but just too many defenders as he stopped for a loss.
Well, they're just trying to run the ball, but that time there was absolutely nowhere for the running back to go, and as a result, that's a tackle for loss.
Now on 4th down, they'll settle for a field goal try. He's going to have to get into this one a little bit from 47 yards away. Nestled just inside that right upright.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
So they put the field goal on the board and about to kick it away and hoping that'll be the final points of this first half. On the move from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. South Florida ready to send the offense back onto the field. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. That passing attack was lethal, David.
Yeah, and you know, you hear all these stupid commentators like me and Jesse talking about create balance, you know, run and pass. No, when you throw that good, spin the ball around.
So the defense
He wants to go deep. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover.
And that's a play the defense absolutely had to have. They've given up some big plays in this first half, and they're down on the scoreboard right now. Something positive needed to happen. Maybe that's the interception that changes the momentum in this game. It's now up to their offense to try and score some points here before the first half ends.
To the air on 1st down. Just a short pass to the tight end. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the first down. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. And here on second down, they'll send out the field goal unit to try to get 3 before the break. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. And this field goal attempt will be a 48-yarder and not straight on from the left side. They'll try to cap off this drive with a field goal. And this field goal attempt will be a 48-yarder and not straight on from the left side. Knocked it right through, showing that big range from 48 yards out. So as it turns out, a 2-play drive results in a field goal.
You've got to make the opponent pay for turning the football over. And while this team would have liked to have scored a touchdown off that pick, I think they're pretty happy getting the field goal.
So they get the late field goal right before the half, and not much time after this kickoff for an answer. He'll start the return inside his 5. They finally make the stop. That's going to make those halftime stats look a little bit nicer as we head to the break. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Gentlemen, you've had yourselves a superb broadcast so far today in Tampa. And this offense has been the story through 2 quarters, extending this lead and really dominating almost every aspect of this game. We're talking lethal efficiency from the O-line right on down to the skill position guys. Although I'd argue those big uglies up front are skilled players in their own right. And with that, let's send it back to the guys inside Raymond James Stadium.
All right, Kevin, about ready to get things cranked back up here. The Bulls will kick it off to start the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. And here comes the Navy offense. Down 2 possessions to start this third quarter. They'd love to build some early momentum.
You ain't lying, because you only got so many possessions here in the second half, so now you're down. I got to maximize every single one. Put your best plays together. Start this drive off on a good note.
Yeah, it starts right here. Obviously, you can't get it all back on this drive, but you can create that momentum.
There he goes. He moves the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 33. Navy quick to the line.
Well, the defense did a pretty good job that time on the option play of having someone dedicating themselves to the...
And here's a fumble way behind the line. Bounced right back to them.
It's so hard to force fumbles, and when you do, you so badly want to get them. You're crawling, you're doing whatever you can to get there as a defender, but the offense fortunate enough to cover it back up.
Quarterback on the keeper. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken.
Lost one deep down the right side. Pulls in the deep ball.
What kind of bull crap is that? It made my defenders run into each other, and all of a sudden a tight end is just open. Are we serious right now? God, EA, what kind of bull crap is that? What kind of bull crap was that?
This is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
They'll bring it back from inside the spot. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the 20. South Florida has it back, and the Bulls offense will return to the field. Keeps it moving for a 3-yard gain to the 24.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess with it. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they throw so fast.
That is crazy.
Pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
If they had done so, across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain.
For the number 2 class.
Well, this offense knew coming into this game, they wanted to try to attack the middle of the field in the passing game, and they're able
On Saturday, he just sat and flipped through channels and watched football all day. So I guess that's what you do on a normal Saturday. Yeah, it is. The dude has earned a little bit of award, and of course, there's only so much time because as this show airs, it's 12 days away from the biggest game in the history of Austin Stadium. Now, not the biggest opponent, no, but the stakes of the game is step one of 4. We're getting some 4 games away from doing what they have never done before. I don't even want to say it aloud. We'd be accused of being the wrong type of jinx for the Ducks in this spot.
Early movement
Something
on the
that stood out
offense,
to me
and they'll
last
push
week,
it back
as
5
Oregon was
yards.
going out.
So I flipped the play. It won't let me flip the play.
Flurry of crystal ball predictions. Oregon's going to land it. Oregon's going to Brian Hartline left Ohio State when there was a lot of hype and there was a lot of build-up. And then Chris Henry stuck with Ohio State. And I don't think that Chris Henry is making some foolish decision just because Brian Hartline isn't there. Hartline's a great coach, great coordinator, really good recruiter. You know who else is a really good coach? Ryan Day. I think we know that by now. Ryan Day, pretty good at the football coaching thing. I think he might once again go win a national championship. Maybe he's got to get through Indiana or somebody does. Really, the only games, think about this. Indiana was a Von Willer program on the 2024 football season kicked off.
Great job
Since
sneaking out
that
of the
point in
backfield,
time,
getting him
they
the
have
football,
only
letting him
lost
get some positive yards.
to the national champion and the national runner-up. Their losses last year were Notre Dame and Ohio State. Missed the national title. Great. Absolutely great. Bringing us back to Danley. Will Stein got announced as the head coach of Kentucky. Tosh LeBoy has been announced as the head coach at Kevin. Did you notice?
And quarterback dropping back,
In
understanding,
addition
I'm getting
to
so
bringing
coverage.
in
All I got to do is be a
new
little bit
faces to
patient,
the 2026
manipulate that
recruiting
defense
class
a little bit.
that
My
provides
wide
depth
receiver
and
runs
defensive
that
back.
drag, and I get the
Oregon
first down.
didn't lose a single player. Nobody flipped. There were programs with good staffs. Players flip. Ohio State almost had Chris Henry Jr. flip. I said in the lead-up to that, between him and Jalen Lott, man, I feel like they're getting one. It'd be great if they get two, which is more likely than zero. And then when Jalen Lott signed, I thought, oh my goodness.
And we need
Are they
more of
really
this
going to
from
go
this
out and
defense, man.
get
They
both?
have let this
And
guy
then, of
have
course,
too
he
much
picks
time to
Ohio
throw the
State.
football.
Okay.
They haven't gotten
So
that
that
jersey
didn't feel
dirty
perfect
yet,
in the
haven't
moment,
sacked
but
him.
remember,
But this is just as good as a sack.
Jalen
Getting
Lott
to
is
him,
not a
letting him
consolation
feel the
prize.
physicality of this game, and not letting him
Jalen
feel
Lott is the
comfortable.
number 3 wide receiver in class 2026. So he stays on the field, and you got to credit Ross Douglas. Receivers coach, you got to credit future offensive coordinator, tight ends coach Maringer. You have to credit Rashawn Samuels, running back coach, everybody on the defensive staff. The job that they done, in addition to Dan Lanning himself and Marshall Falcao, the way that they kept the class entirely together is incredibly impressive when you think about the fact that Oregon lost both of its coordinators. That is not an easy thing to just pull. If one or two guys had gone with Will Stein in the 26 cycle or with Tosh LeBoy, I wouldn't have been raising major alarm bells. I would have said, that sounds about right. And when the portal opens on, I think it's January 2nd-ish, by the way, I fully expect that some of the reserves on Oregon's roster are going to go with those guys to their new spots.
And after that run, getting right back up to the line of scrimmage to go hurry.
I think I've lost by a total of like 10 points in like 5 of my 6 losses this year in this league. I just gotta think that those 50-50 games are gonna turn the other direction at some point.
Vermeer will be the OC. Hampton will be the DC. That starts next year. And both coaches, Will Stein and Tosh.
Sounds like the Bears game against the Vikings a couple of weeks ago in the other league.
South Florida ready to send the offense back.
And I think this was just another example of just that fact. So that was a really good weekend for Dan Lanning, and then his team was cemented as the number 5 team. By the way, let me just throw this fun hypothetical out here before I get to an SSA and then the Pat Kraft situation. Who's the Penn State athletic director? Oh boy. So, if the playoff had expanded, but not to 12 teams, if they'd gone to 8, Oregon would have been squarely in the field. But just think about this hypothetical, just for fun. There were some people, me, who said, hey, if you're going to expand the playoff, the right number is 6. There's a part of me that stands by that. There's a part of me that looks at this year's field and goes, I would have been fine with 8. And I would have been fine with 8 before, I just wouldn't have advocated for it. Can you imagine a 16 playoff this year where you've got Indiana number 1, probably Georgia 2, and Ohio State 3, and Texas Tech 4. And then for the 5 and 6 spots, you'd have to debate 11-1 Oregon, 11-1 Ole Miss without Lane Kiffin, and 11-1 Texas A&M. Anybody want to be the committee in that scenario? I had that thought, went, man, there would have been, somebody would have gone 11-1 in the Big Ten or SEC and been left out. That would have been something. Anyway, this SSA came across my notes. SSA, Oregon wouldn't have lost Chris Henry if Will Stein had stayed.
It's weird because I have some leagues where I feel like I have all the good luck. Like with the Bears and that fantasy league.
Here he comes from inside his own
And then a couple leagues.
And the coverage team able to wrestle him down.
Like the Buccaneers.
And Navy will go back on the attack.
And this one, I feel like I'm always getting the short end of the bounce league.
Yeah, and I think the offense kind of got away from their identity a little bit on that last drive, David. They got to kind of get
is the receivers coach, or was, is, because they used to stay with the Buckeyes as well for their playoff run. He's also the wide receivers coach. Will Stein is not. He's the quarterbacks coach. So the #1 recruiter for Chris Henry, I believe, would be Ross Douglas, who was definitely going to stay, and of course is staying on the Oregon staff. So, yeah, I mean, maybe it would have helped, but I think that uncertainty was more about Ohio State, and then Oregon tried to capitalize on it. I think the Ducks pitch was mostly the same. But as I talked about, everything comes back to the head coach anyway. And I think we can all agree at this point, Dan Lanning, pretty darn good. Not everybody likes Oregon, though. Pat Kraft. All right. I'm gonna talk about it.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the
I'm kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place, though, in this league, because you are at least tanking. I'm right in the middle of a division race.
Here's the pressure. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him.
You can stock up and save a huge way, 50% off site-wide at OmahaSteaks.com. It gets even better. Locked On College listeners get an extra $35 off with code COLLEGE at checkout. So, if you know someone that is a big foodie like myself, and you know, hey, so-and-so loves cooking steaks for himself, like me, maybe Omaha Steaks is the perfect kind of gift. Why? Because they've got high-quality meat, and you get a great deal. Save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit OmahaSteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Sizzled All the Way sale, and for an extra $35 off, use the promo code COLLEGE at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's OmahaSteaks.com. Code
Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field down.
So over the weekend, there were some audio clips flying around. Supposedly with Pat Kraft, I've not been able to independently verify the audio clips, but I have not seen that they are in fact him. I'm not generally a fan of recording somebody if
got to kick it in high gear now. Making a big
if
play,
he or
that is
she is
great,
not
but we got to go up
said
tempo.
that's
We got to
okay.
go
Like
fast.
if
We're
you're having a
trailing big
private
in this ball
conversation
game.
that
We
seems
got to
like
put
a
a lot of
reasonable
drives
expectation
together.
of privacy,
Maybe even get lucky with
maybe
our
it is.
outside
But
kick.
anyway, this was all in the midst. If you want to go read the comments or listen to them, just search them on Twitter, they'll pop up. But there were some comments about Oregon in there and Michigan and all that stuff. And the number one takeaway I had is Pat Kraft, the Penn State athletic director. I don't think he, deep down,
right in the keyhole, right on the button, right on the face mask, whatever it was. Great throw, great timing. Nice job by the quarterback.
You know, he made some comment allegedly about Oregon's just a bunch of weirdos out there. I don't know, man. Portland's mantras literally keep Portland weird. Has been my whole life, so I don't think that's a little blasphemous thing somebody has ever said. The whole thing, I mean, just Raycurrent scary, and this all came out before, and the comments were, I believe, made well before they announced the hiring of Matt Campbell, the Iowa State head coach. And by the way, our guy, Zach Seiko, locked on Indy Lions, very confident Matt Campbell will get them right back into the playoff conversation. And not only Oregon had Penn State on this schedule for 2026, so just keep an eye on there. But overall, I think he was just a really, really insecure. That's what I felt like. He knew that he had screwed up the coaching search, and he was able to salvage it for, the timeline that they had to go out and get Matt Campbell. I think it was the best they could have done in that spot, but I think he was just blown off steam. I got laughed at it when I heard it. I kind of went,
it's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff, where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game. You got to lead late. We're going to run the football, and the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense is.
So, just wanted to chime in. There was another one that I wanted to touch on that I thought was interesting. Jeff Choate, probably not a name most of you are familiar with out there, and he's the head coach of Nevada. And he also had this really interesting comment about and some others. The way that he
sometimes you overthink it. Sometimes
unlike
running the
any
football
coach
on third and
I can
short with
remember
the
hearing
lead is not the worst thing in the world. Keep that
He
clock
says that when
ticking.
he
And
and their
now
staff,
decided
he and
to
his
go
staff
for
go
it,
and
setting
talk
up a
to
fourth down. And this looks like a situation where you
players
should
in
punt the
Nevada,
football.
which, as we all know, is not a premier football program in the Mountain West. He says they go to and pitch them on a guy like Isaiah. I don't think he named Isaiah specifically, but he basically made the reference point of they go and say, hey, you come here, we'll develop you, and then you'll have an opportunity if you play well enough to either be an all-conference player in this league, or a school like Oregon might come along and pay you a bunch of money to go play for them.
And not just go for it,
I thought it was incredibly self-aware. I thought it was incredibly smart. And college football, in a lot of ways, college sports, year-to-year proposition, and that's what that is. That's not digging in for, a 3-year build and gravitate towards one season where you're going to have all your guys. I think that's them looking around going, yeah, well, this is what it's going to be, so I might as well tell kids, hey. And I just didn't want any Oregon fans to think this was a shot at Oregon. I don't think it was. I think it was the exact opposite.
This offense is
I think
not
it was them
letting
saying,
up,
yeah,
guys. They've got
Oregon
a lead
is
here
one of the
late,
places
and
you
they are
come.
still taking shots. They're
If you
still
come
looking for
here, you're going to
explosive
have an
plays. This
opportunity to
defense
showcase
just
your
has not
skills.
had an answer
And then
here
go on
all
to a school
game
like
long.
that. I thought it was kind of cool.
I love an
I thought it was
offense
a
that
unique
wants to stay
perspective
aggressive.
that
Even
I
when
had
you
to see.
get the lead
So I
late
wanted to
in a
make sure
game
I
like
mentioned
this,
that
right? You still try to
today as
find your
well,
playmakers
because
and get them the ball in space. And that
Nevada's
is
never going to have
exactly
as
what
much
this
money as
offense is
Oregon,
doing.
but why not showcase the career track record of Isaiah World, who might have been an NFL guy anyway?
You
Received
see a
some
lot of
Big Ten honors,
offenses
which
late
is
in
a
the
perfect
football game
transition
with the lead
into
get conservative. I like
what
they
I
did.
wanted to wrap today's show up
Trusted
with.
the
That was
passing
some
game.
going
You're
to
going to get
something
looks that you know what they
certain
are.
show. Also, I need a trivia question for Tuesday. So somebody sent me a good trivia question. I had some good ones last week. I got one about a kicker, and it didn't quite get because the Keenan Howry question ended up winning out. There were a lot of good submissions, but whoever sent me the kicker question,
And
send
this
me
is
that
really the
again.
story of the game. This
That might be the
offense
winner
has
this week,
no
unless someone comes
chance
up
in
with
the
a better one.
passing game because they
We'll see how it
cannot
goes. So,
protect the
the all
quarterback
conference
all
team in the Big
game
Ten
long. He's
have
been
been
under
announced,
duress.
and
You got to give
there
the
are
defense
two
time.
separate Big Ten conference lists. There's the coaches poll and the media poll. They're mostly the same. They're not entirely the same. So, to no one's surprise, Oregon that went 11-1 all over these particular lists. I don't think there was a massive snub anywhere for the Notes. So Kenny City was named the tight end of the year. He was named first team.
And this offense is going to have to be aggressive, right? Down a couple possessions. Got to continue to get these first downs. Move quick. Don't be in a hurry, but they've got to keep the accelerator down because they need some explosive plays.
Navy quick to the
And I
line.
think the only other potential consideration for a first-teamer would have been Brandon Finney, whose name I will get to at some point. But I also think, you know what, there were a couple moments this year where we saw Brandon Finney has room to grow.
Right.
True freshman guy.
And they can't hook up. Going for the
Honestly,
big
one of the
play on
more
second
surprising
down.
ones.
Now it's
Poncho
third
was
down.
only given
I understand the sense of urgency for the offense now because you're trailing here by a lot in the fourth quarter. You're just trying to take a shot to see if you can get on the board and get some of this momentum back. But the problem is the defense understands that, so they're playing coverage, and they're doing a good job on the back end. Nice job forcing the incompletion.
That seemed like a little bit of a slight.
On third and long, trying to have a big completion here.
Second team All Big Ten.
He's going to run it.
The media, but
The
not by the
defense is
coaches.
there, and a great job to keep him from
But they
getting to
does
that
it this
first
way. I
down
wish they would
marker.
just
He's
go
hard
one
to get a
way
handle
or
on.
the other.
It'll be fourth and short.
Frankly, I think
They'll
coaches
unleash the
are the
Wildcats
best
to keep this drive
to go to
alive.
for this because they actually see these
Back
guys
in motion, try to
play
clear
in
the pitch.
person, and
Snap to the back.
I can't say the same about every media member.
They make the stop, but
So,
not before the chains move and the
Yeah,
Wildcat
I would
formation
listen to
pays
the
off.
coaches here, but Bryce Betcher,
Navy
second
is
team All Big
clicking
Ten.
on all
Both
cylinders
media
right
coaches,
now.
Bear Alexander.
Looking to throw on
Yeah,
first
well,
down.
feels good.
Rushes on
Especially
him.
given how well they played against USF.
space on
Second
the
team All Big Ten by
They
both the
got
media
him
and
free
the
for a
coaches.
big
Basso,
gainer to
the
the
long snapper,
43.
was voted second team
Looks
by
as
the
if we
coaches,
have an
not the
injury
media,
on
though.
that last
Davey
play, and we'll
Ewing,
take
this
a break
one
to check him
surprised
out.
me.
Here
Davey
comes
Ewing
Navy
was
back to
voted
the
third
line
team
after
All
picking
Big
up the
Ten
first down.
by the coaches, not by the media. He was
They'll
the most
leave it with him.
surprising.
Not a whole lot of
Person
room
on
there.
the
3
list
yards
for
maybe.
me.
Second and
He was a
7.
starting caliber player this
Tried to
season.
pound it on
But I mean,
first down,
that
now
I
back
can
to the
remember a
line.
number of games
2
where I
minutes
came
now
on here and
left
said,
in
yeah,
this one, and
he
time
was a
is
struggle.
running
He didn't have
short
a
if
great
they want to
game,
find a way to
he's a
pull this
really
one
good
out.
pass protector,
We
but
thought
his
we
run
might
blocking
see
is
some of
not-
this. They'll go to the
not what I would
Wildcat
call
formation
exceptional.
here.
So that one was a little-
Motion from
a
the
little
back.
bit surprising.
Snap
Dante
to the
Moore
back.
was picked third team All Big Ten by the media.
And he was
Coaches
greeted by a
picked Jay
host of
Brown.
defenders and barely gets
Jay
down
Brown
to the
was
line of
very good.
scrimmage. They're at their fastest tempo trying to get
Does
on
the
this
head-to-head
third
should
down
the
play.
head-to-head matter? No, it's an individual.
Fires
I
to the
was
right.
good. I played
Defense was not fooled for a second. It'll bring up
Brandon
fourth
Finney was
down.
picked third team by
One of the
media,
biggest reasons
second
today
team
why
by
this
the
offense
coaches.
is losing in the game is they haven't been able to get it going throwing the football. This guy still has not thrown a touchdown pass. They thought coming into this game they were going to have tons of success throwing it. But you got to give the defense credit. They watched the film. They've been mixing up their looks defensively, trying to confuse this quarterback. And again, on that last deep shot, it falls incomplete.
They played this year.
And they are
Brandon Finney was
stopped on
not
fourth
named
down.
freshman
That
of the year.
decision
And
will be questioned.
I can't go as far as say
Wants
that's
to
a
go up
snub
top
and
on
weekend
first
for
down.
BYU was
He'll take the deep shot.
legitimately snubbed out of the college football playoff.
Couldn't hang on to that one. This defense has already picked off 3 passes, almost had the 4th. It'll be
He
second
was a
down.
redshirt freshman.
Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again.
Okay. I think this is his first year starting. We didn't really know what he was. He is, by the way,
Grabbed in the
on
middle. It's
track.
McGabb.
Separating
That
Bo
one's
Nix's
sort of
record
like
from
a shooter in
2023.
basketball, just needing to see one go through the net. Isn't it, David? Just get it
Bo Nix was
to your guy and pick up some yardage.
I
Build
believe,
some
and
confidence
Julian
because your
Saban
confidence
right
throwing
now
the ball over the middle of the
is
field and in
at
tight
78.
windows. Probably not at an all-time high, but
So,
check it
if he
down,
stays
make
there,
something positive
or
happen. The
however
running back
many
does
games
his
they
job,
play
so
in the
maybe
college
this
football
sparks a
playoff,
little
he'll set
something in the
NCAA
quarterback's head where he can feel a little bit more confident and bounce back from these early mistakes.
I think in this situation after that incompletion, 4th and short on your side of the field, the smart play is to punt it away and trust your defense.
They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
That's how they'll
Makes the grab. Defense
Glad those
uses a
guys
timeout
made
quickly
the
trying to
recognition
get
that
that
they
ball
deserve.
back and preserve time for their
Unfortunately,
offense.
might make it a little more
Wow,
likely
and
for
that
guys
was
like
just a bang-bang play. On that
Nacho
4th down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. You knew where he wanted to go with it.
From the
The
Oregon
only
coaching
way
staff,
that ball gets completed
I go to
is if
Mark
he puts a
Washington,
little extra
Taylor
mustard on it,
Giuliani.
and he shows
I
you
would
the art
sell
talent on the
some
throw.
sort of
And
chip
it's
on their shoulder.
intercepted.
Third
Maybe
team, you
breathing
guys
more
are
of a
worst
life
team
into this
caliber. You
team.
come back
He
next year
goes down
and
after
we'll
the
prove
short
it together.
return, but what a play to get
That's
the
me
football
being
back.
optimistic.
They'll get this
Because
drive
those guys
started
can go
from
to the
their
end.
own
All right,
45-yard
let's
line.
worry about that later. Just worry about
He
that later.
wastes
So
no
we all
time
the
and
games
comes
pass
up
and playoff
throwing.
path questions that. Yeah.
And that incomplete pass
Appreciate it.
caused by
Listen,
the
I will see
big
you next
hit
time.
on
Until
first
then,
down,
hope you
second
all
down
have a
coming.
wonderful rest of your day.
Well, the windows right now to throw into are getting smaller and smaller. How about the defender that time breaking on the ball? It was the hit that caused the incompletion.
To the air on second down. He's taking a deep shot late in the game. Oh, he's getting ahead. Touchdown, Navy!
Alabama has such a game for
Lazarus-like comeback is
national
underway.
championship in Texas last year.
And
SEC
listen,
championship
still a
game.
ways to go.
So,
Great job by this offense getting back in the ball game. Now, we got to
well, today's a big day. Yeah, luckily we don't have anything to worry about. We're both undefeated Power 5 conference champions. We're lucky.
The defense has to come up big.
Alabama taking
Get
the
me
loss.
rock back.
Welcome back to the episode of Rock Boys Football Del Mackerel.
They'll go
Making
for
some
two
big
here and try
changes
to
at
climb
Nebraska,
within a
and it's
field
going
goal
to start
range.
on the offensive line. Got
Trying to pound it in.
Cheap weighed in. Did you start this? You can't run.
Bro.
He's in
This
there
is
for
not
the
what you're
two-point
looking for here,
conversion, and
Nebraska.
now
If they
they're
end up
within a
as a
field
Michigan
goal.
fan, our offensive
Oh,
line
they
coach
are
was on the hot
fortunate to
seat
get
12
that
months.
fumble
And
back,
the
but the
first
clock
lead
is
that
still
came
ticking, and they've got to
is
go
Keith
and go
Wade
now.
and what he's doing at Georgia Tech. They didn't do. Let's just go by the numbers, and we'll talk about some of the player development implications.
South Florida
We'll start
ready to
talking
send
about
the
some of the
offense back onto the
what I
field.
would say is
Now
recruiting
we've got a
implications as
little
well.
game
Let's
pressure,
just
and we'll
look
see
at
how
the
the
numbers.
offense responds in a three-point
Keith
game.
Wade at Georgia
Can't
Tech
wait to see this quarterback and how he's going to be able to handle that pressure, David. How will he respond in this situation?
And just know, listen, I'm only up by 3 now. If I can make this a 2-score game, I can almost put this away in the fourth quarter.
One more yard on this second down might just put an exclamation point on this one. Pressure coming. Showing the arm strength to the left. Heavy toasted coverage going deep downfield. And he'll be forced out of bounds, but not before yet another big play in this passing attack. And the Bulls enter the final minute of play trying to run out the clock.
And then you look at
He's looking to throw.
absolute disaster.
Floating away.
Giving up a sack at 8.5% of dropbacks. That's untrue. And 18 untrue in 1 year.
Make the grab as he was going for
And you were
6 right
Michigan
there.
and Nebraska where they
And this
want to
QB's
go.
had some success, man, throwing the football game. Like 3 touchdown passes today. Nice job by the defense responding, right? Don't give up more big plays.
Conversation in back notice why those kids to stay at
Well, they
Nebraska.
get the touchdown when they need it most. That score now makes it a 2-possession game. And guys, just seconds to go on the game clock. This thing is all but over.
And I didn't know offensive line that can hold up pass protection. Because you look at where Nebraska's trying to go, the teams they're trying to beat, and go back to that Michigan game. Dylan played a great game.
Amazing stat that I also don't think has happened before, and it won't last forever, but I'm curious to see how far it'll go at this point. Oregon is 0-9
And he's going to bring
in
it out of the
basketball
end
against the
zone.
spread.
He was looking for some running room, but not much to be
UCLA was
found
favored
as
by
he stopped at
8.5,
the
wound up
18.
winning by 11 despite
Man
Oregon
down
had a
on the
chance
play
to
as
win
the
the game.
officials take a break
And
to
then
let
once
him
they
be
get
checked
close, they
out.
just look like they
They'll
run out
start
of
this
gas.
drive from the
They
18-yard
reach
line.
a point, and you think back to the first 4 games of the year when they won against
Going
inferior
right to work up
competition.
top.
Around the 12 to 13 minute mark of the second half, they would kind of let up with a big lead and let a team back into it, and they found a way.
Well, the defense
that was
didn't get caught napping there in this
But the
situation.
problem
You know they have to
is
stay
that at
alert
the end
for
of
the
the game,
ball.
they know
Yeah,
Liz
so
does
what
not
defense
have
am I going to call?
a
I'm going
deep
to keep
enough
some
lineup of
DBs
guards
back
that
deep.
he
I'm going to keep
can
my
trust. So
safety a little
Jackson
bit
Shellstad
deeper, understanding
played
they're
38
down.
more
They're
minutes
going
in
to
this
have to
game.
attack down the
And the
field.
reason
I'm
for
going to
that
stick to my passing
is that
sets,
there
my
is
nickels, my
just
dimes.
no ability guard play, no
And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there.
than a playmaker
Trying to get
at this
everybody
point.
set with the clock still running.
There is just nothing else.
On third and long,
He
trying to
has to
convert
do
through
it
the
all,
air.
and so he
And
can
here
wear
comes
down.
the
He's
heat,
your
and they get
closer,
home, and they
and
get
he
it
can
at
wear down.
21.
And he played great
Now by
in this game for the most part. Again, 2 assists and 3 turnovers is not an acceptable ratio for your starting point guard, especially not a third-year starter like Jackson Chelsea.
And
But
down he goes.
one thing I talked
And
about
that's
with Steve
gonna do
Lane
it.
this year
Not much of a
is
chance
the
there, and
production
the
off the bench.
defense puts an exclamation point on this.
It was
We
better,
waited so long to
in
start
this
the
game,
season, and
but it
just the way
doesn't
you
come
want to
from
start.
a guard
Game
come out. Start
Wayland is lost out there.
Great start.
It was a great
He
start
feels
for the
closer to
team.
traveling
For the
than
team,
making a
obviously,
good
not
play
the way
every
we
time
wanted
he
to get
touches the
into
ball.
this season. There were some mistakes with execution.
They don't have serious
The guys
trust
are
in
gonna have to do a
Phillips
better job
anyway.
individually, but that's why you play the game.
If he was available in this game, I honestly do not know. And then, you know, Alexander Kopsitsi, look, he can come in and put up a couple threes, and he'll usually hit one. Okay, fine. But you can't, you know, rotate Shellstat to the bench and then let Simpkins take over, because he's been a turnover machine this year. He can't run the offense. They don't have a point forward that could run the offense. KJ Evans could in theory. He, of course, wasn't healthy enough to play in this game, but Evans isn't a very good dribbler. Biddle's not athletic enough. Sean Stewart doesn't have the skill. The flaws of this Oregon roster are becoming more and more apparent as the year goes on. So this was the most productive game and the most minutes that E.J. Demir has had all season long. He had 6 points, 5 rebounds, no blocks, 2 turnovers. He was 3-7 from the floor, 0-2 at the foul line. Dane Altman's ability to find poor free throw shooters continues to be absolutely unmatched over the years. But he played 20 minutes, and Des Lindsey played 21 minutes. And both guys, I think, gave you good minutes off the bench. Lindsey didn't shoot it efficiently, but he was active. He was working hard. He got a couple buckets. He had 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. He was 4 or 5 at the foul line. Like, that's fine. He's got to get his three-point shot going, but it's not a huge part of his game. So, those two guys, and Kabzitsi, again, did